This is the Volkswagen ID.3, and today we'll try to understand why this is becoming the best-selling electric vehicle in Europe.
The ID.3, well, what is it? The ID.3 is in fact Volkswagen's answer to their worst nightmare, the Dieselgate, an emissions scandal that began in 2015 due to a violation of their vehicles in terms of emissions. The NOx emissions of some of their diesel cars were up to 40 times higher in real-life usage than the official certified figures. And with over 11 million cars concerned, Volkswagen was in big trouble. It was time to redefine a new strategy and position the company as a forward-looking one. The ever so popular Volkswagen Golf accounts for a significant share of their global sales, but rather than bringing a new electric version of their new generation Volkswagen Golf, the company decided to design a completely new, fully electric platform with all the benefit it allows. 40 billion euros later, the so-called MEB platform was born. The ID.3 is the first Volkswagen to use this platform, and Volkswagen has never tried to hide that they have high hopes for it in the race against Tesla. So let's see how good it is and what we can expect from it. Looking at the outside, the proportions are nice and its wheelbase is longer than the Golf, allowing for some extra space inside. It has a new identity, so you will not mix it with the Golf. Our today's model is the first edition trim level with this very specific gray color. It looks very modern and I think it's quite cool. This specific identity is emphasized by the special front lights as well as the rear overall lighting. This launch model has a 58 kilowatt hour battery which allows for 300 to 350 kilometers, but it does have a bigger battery option that can be up to 77 kilowatt hours, and it definitely has a very comfortable extended range. The trunk is slightly bigger than in the Golf, and being a hatchback, it remains very practical. Much more so than the Model 3 of Tesla, that is seen as one of the competitors of this ID.3 by some, even if the Tesla Model 3 is a much bigger D-segment sedan. Before jumping inside, let's have a look under the hood. There is no front trunk or frunk. Fortunately, not too much space was wasted because this area is rather small.
Let's see what the interior looks like. I'm gonna sit in the driver's seat. I'm 1 meter 80, and this is the sort of space I have if the seat is adjusted to my size. Manual adjustments, no electric adjustments on this trim level at least. Very similar to a Golf, for example. Let's see in the back. So I will sit, as they say, behind myself. The front seat is adjusted to my size, 1 meter 80, and I'm sitting in the back. I'm rather comfortably seated here, so it is more than acceptable. I have a lot of knee room. The headroom is okay. I do not have anything to complain with. I will try to sit in the middle. Yeah, and here I do not have headroom, as you can see. I have even touched the lights, and the overall impressions, let me say that I will not be happy traveling here for longer distances. But overall, the interior is more roomy than in a Golf. The only thing that I would mention is that your needs are quite high because of the battery. The floor is rather high, so I have the impression that my knees are a little bit high. Other than that, quite happy with the space here. The overall quality is far from being premium and is lower than what you would expect from a Volkswagen. Inside the ID.3 you have a rather unusual look for Volkswagen, even if you see a lot of the things that will give you hints that it is a Volkswagen. So you have all the controls that are quite usually placed for Volkswagen, yet the overall console and the environment is different from a Golf. The materials, they are not premium looking, yet they are quite nice to touch. So a friend of mine said it looks like Seat plastic. So Seat is a lower brand, so it's another brand of VAG that is quite present in Europe, and it's not the same level as you would usually get in a Volkswagen. It is overall nice. It's not premium by any means. So you can see the two screens, the central multimedia screen and the screen in front of the driver that will give you key information on the car. At this stage we can see that we have 96 kilometers of range, and in fact this is with 34% of state of charge. The screen is overall quite intuitive. It's not very big, so not at all Tesla-like. It is a little bit inclined towards the driver. You have three possible screens in here, so this is one of them. So this is the home screen. This is what you would get when you touch on the home button, and then there is a screen that will give you a snapshot of the navigation and where you are, information on the multimedia and what you are listening at the moment. You can a shortcut for the vehicle and a shortcut for the phone, and a third screen that is split into several pieces. So you have the phone information, the vehicle information in terms of efficiency, settings, multimedia, as you can see. You always have this information in terms of time, temperature, your connection for the phone, and these are shortcuts to your climate settings. Climate settings, you have three screens here. One is for air care, so this is the last screen that you would get. The main screen, in fact, is the smart climate. Smart climate is an attempt from VAG to move away from what they call the classic climate, and rather than setting where you want your flow to come from and this kind of settings, how fast of a flow you want, you will just choose whether you want to have a better view, so it will take care of all your windows. If you want to get your feet warm, whether you want to have your hands warm, whether you want to have your feet cooled, and so on and so forth, and it will do all the magic for you. It's okay, nothing revolutionary here. Going back to these climate settings, you still get your classic climate settings, as you can see here. So you can control the fan. So let's put it to minimum to avoid the noise, and you can set up the flows, the AC, whether it's on or not. 25 degrees, obviously I do not need that much. 19 is plenty. I'll just switch on the heated seats, and very important, something that you do not get in the Model 3 from Tesla is the heated steering wheel. And that is great to have in winter, especially in areas where the winters are tough and you want to get some efficiency and not use all the heating. So to avoid heating too much your interior, you switch on your heated steering wheel and you avoid wasting too much energy to heat the air inside your cabin. So the car is ready to go. I do not have to press any start engine or any start buttons. The car is ready to go. I will have to use this lever to go in drive, B mode or reverse. This is very similar to the BMW i3. The difference is that it's one piece, including the central screen, which is quite convenient to have the key information here. The looks are quite strange. My wife said that she didn't understand what was this black cheap piece of plastic, and you get more of this black plastic inside the car. As you can see, the screen, the outside part of the screen is of this black plastic, piano painted plastic, and you get some of it here as well. The central console gives you some storage options. So you have some storage here with 2 USB-C ports. You have some storage space here, very convenient for your phone as well as your wallet. The only issue that I see for a phone is that they are set up that the phone will look to the front of the car. So I don't know who is interested in here to look at my phone, but I would have preferred to have it this way around. And why not have an induction charging to it as well? So you can use it always like this in the cup holders, but it is a pity because you lose, first of all, the cup, one of the 2 cup holders at least, and you don't get any charging in here, so no inductive charging, which is a pity. Let's continue with the central console. So you have your driving, neutral and rear, so it's telling me that the braking is engaged because the door is open, which is fine because we have not finished looking into it. You have information about, in fact not information, you have the controls on the lighting and as well as the heated front window and back window. As you can see here, you can change the volume and you can change the screen, the information on the central screen that is right here. Here you will control the lane assist, distance, plus and minus, setting and restoring the adaptive cruise control. Let's check in terms of battery. Vehicle, let's see what we have in here. So the vehicle will tell us information in terms of recharging. So we have 35% of state of charge, and this allows us 97 kilometers of range. The real range of this ID.3 is roughly 300 up to 350 kilometers, which is quite acceptable for a 58 kilowatt hour battery. There is some storage in here, as you would expect, and as you can see, the overall plastic is, it's not hard, but it's not premium looking. So the car is ready to go. It is in park, but it is ready to go. There is no start stop button. The car just wants you to engage drive OB. You have the confirmation with a nice lighting that showed you that it is now ready. It is on auto hold, so I can take away my foot from the brake. It will not move. I just need to touch the acceleration, and there we are moving, and the overall visibility is quite good. The form factor of the car allows it to have this very airy sort of interior, so you have the impression of a lot of space in this car. It is quite pleasant to drive. It's a front wheel drive, so you will not have the sporty feeling that you can get in a rear wheel drive like the BMW i3 or the Tesla, yet it has very decent accelerations, so you will not feel uncomfortable overtaking. It's not the same sort of sporty feeling that you can get from some of the rear wheel drive cars. The suspension of the ID.3 are not set for a comfortable ride, so they are quite precise, but overall harsh. You can feel all the potholes, all the bumps and so on. Maybe a little bit even more harsh than in a Golf. You have the option of a smaller wheel size. So here we have the big alloys. You can have smaller wheels with more rubber to them, and you get, so they will compensate for some of this lack of comfort, and you'll have a more comfortable ride. Charging the ID.3 is quite straightforward. It's a European car, so you have the Type 2 connector and a CCS connector for the DC fast charging. The speed in terms of charging, so it has an onboard charger of 7.2 kilowatts, and for the fast charging it will go up to 100 kilowatts. And this is the maximum speed that you can expect from it.
So what do I think about this ID.3? Well, I think Volkswagen has managed to build a solid product here. First of all, excellent form factor for Europe, C segment. Secondly, the range is quite good, especially with the bigger battery pack. Then it looks quite good, huh? So very nice to look at, very nice to drive, so well done Volkswagen. On the negatives, first of all, the build quality. It's not on par with what Volkswagen used to treat us with. Secondly, the software, the multimedia, nowhere near to what Tesla is able to do. So second negative, quite an important one. Having said that, Volkswagen is able to price it quite competitively, and it is competing on one side with the Tesla Model 3, much bigger car, D segment, sedan, so quite interesting. And then on the lower end there is the Renault Zoe, which is a much smaller car, a B segment, small hatchback, which is extremely popular here in Europe. So will it be a game changer for Volkswagen? Only time will tell. Having said that, I think it's a very solid step towards an electric future for Volkswagen. See you next time, guys.